Okay, welcome everyone to Yoga with Carina. My name is Carina and I'm excited to have you join me today. Today we'll be doing mostly seated poses on our mat, so on our backs and seated. If you have props like a strap or blocks with you, that's great, but today it's not necessary to have them. So we'll get started. We'll start with laying on our back. So you can just stretch out on your mat here. You can have your palms facing up to absorb energy if you feel that you need that today, or you can have your palms facing down to allow yourself to ground a little bit further, maybe into your mat or into the space that you're in today, whatever suits you. Maybe knitting the shoulder blades around your spine, closing your eyes and taking a nice deep cleansing breath, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe letting your feet just lean out towards either side and allow yourself to sink into your mat further and further. Focusing on your breath as you inhale, maybe counting to 3 or 4, and exhaling, maybe counting to 4 or 5. Allowing your exhales to be slightly longer than your inhale. This will allow you to relax further in your mat. And maybe bringing some awareness to your body and just notice how your body's feeling today. Maybe there's some areas where you're holding a little bit of extra stress or tension. Gently bringing awareness to those areas and being mindful with those areas as you practice today. And maybe setting an intention for your practice today. So whatever you and your body needs, gently hold the word or intention in your thoughts for the next few breaths. Maybe taking one nice deep inhale and then slowly exhale. Gently start to invite movement back into your body, wiggling your toes, your fingers, maybe rocking your head from side to side, awakening the cervical spine. Maybe inhale, reaching over your head for a nice overall body stretch, pointing the toes towards the front of the room, reaching the fingertips back above your head. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Making any adjustments as you need. And then from here, we'll gently walk our feet over towards either side of the room. So you can choose the right or the left, keeping your hips where they are. You're just going to walk those feet over slightly. And then from here, you're going to walk your shoulders and your head over to the same side of the room. So if you're walked your feet over towards the left, gently walk your head and shoulders over towards the left as well. This is called banana asana. So it's a banana pose, and basically you're stretching that entire right side of the body. Breathing into the ribs, into the side body. Taking a gentle inhale here as you gently walk your feet back to center. Once they've come back to center, you can gently bring your head and your shoulders back to center as well. Taking a breath here, just noticing how one side feels compared to the other. And when you're ready, we'll gently walk our legs over to the other side, keeping your hips where they are, glued to your mat. Once you've walked your feet over to the other side, gently walk your shoulders and your head over. Taking a few breaths here, breathing into the other side body. And taking a gentle inhale, gently walk those feet back to center. Once they've made it back to center, gently bring that upper body back to center. Still extending those toes out towards the front of the room and the fingertips above your head towards the back of the room. Noticing how either side feels. Taking a couple deep breaths here. Maybe lengthening a little bit further if you can. And on your next breath, you can gently draw your knees towards your chest, hugging your knees in, wrapping those arms around the knees, maybe rocking side to side, back and forth on your mat, massaging the spine, working out any tightness into the back. And from here, we'll gently lower that left leg down towards the mat. You can keep it here, or you can also extend that leg out fully so that the heel is pointing out towards the front of the room. Taking that right leg, drawing it into the chest, you're gonna wrap those hands around that right thigh, and you can extend that foot up towards the ceiling. Toes drawn down towards your forehead, extending the heel up. Really focusing on lengthening through the back of the leg, breathing into the back of the leg as well. So every inhale, creating space, and every exhale, releasing the tension into the back of the leg. On your next breath, gently bringing that right heel back down. We'll also take that left foot to the mat. So you're gonna bend that left knee. And from here, you're going to take your right ankle, place it over top of that left thigh into a figure 4 stretch. So maybe today you're staying here in your figure 4, or if you want to take it a little bit further, you can bring that left knee into the chest. You can interlace your fingers around the left thigh, making sure that that right foot stays nice and flexed so you protect the knee. And maybe if you want, you can add a little bit of slow movement here, just noticing and noticing any sensations into that right hip, or maybe even into the back, or you might be feeling this into, the outside of the right thigh, the outside of the shin, the calf. Once you find that area where, you feel like you're releasing a little bit of tension, just hold it there for a few breaths. Maybe allow it to work that tension out. From here, you can gently place that left foot on the mat. Keep that right foot crossed over. From here, we're gently going to press into that left foot. We're going to shift those hips over towards the right just slightly. And then from here, we're gently just going to lower down towards the left side of the room. So you're keeping that figure 4 cross, and then you're just lowering to that left side. It's a little bit of a spinal twist here. You can take your arms and extend them out to either side if that feels okay. And just really focus on coming back to that breath. Drawing the belly button into the spine as you take your next breath. Gently bring those legs back to center. Maybe bring those hips back to center as well. You can gently uncross that right foot, placing that foot back onto the mat. Maybe take those feet a little bit wide and gently windshield wiper those legs out. Noticing how one side feels compared to the other side now that we've done the right side here. And we'll move on to the other side. So the left side, you can take that left knee in towards your chest. You can leave your right foot where it is, or you can extend it out towards the front of the room, making sure that that foot is engaged, so toes pointed up to the ceiling, heel towards the front of the room. With that left foot, you can interlace your fingers around that left thigh, and as you take your next breath, you can gently extend that heel up towards the ceiling, drawing the toes down towards your forehead and reaching that heel upwards. Again, coming back to your breath, inhaling and exhaling, allowing your exhales to be slightly longer than your inhale. And if you find that the reach might be a little bit too much for you in these poses, you can always feel free to use a strap if you'd like. Taking a nice deep breath here. As we exhale, gently draw that heel back down. We'll take the right foot back to the mat so that right knee's pointed up towards the ceiling. We'll take that left ankle, we'll place it over top of that right thigh. Maybe you stay here in that figure four, or if you want to take that a little bit further, you can start to walk that right foot up, or you can lift that right knee up and interlace your fingers around the right thigh. Always being mindful that you're protecting the knee on the left side, so making sure the foot is flexed. Maybe taking some movement side to side here. Finding that sweet spot or that area where maybe you're holding a little bit of extra tension today and just kind of massaging in there, or maybe staying put in that area and taking a few nice deep breaths, releasing the tension. I'll take another deep inhale here. As you exhale, you can gently release that right foot down. And from here, pressing into your mat with that right foot, gently moving those hips over towards the left side of the room. And then from here, we're going to gently lower down to that right side. So keeping that figure four and just lowering those legs down into a little bit of a twist. Maybe extending those arms out into a T position here. Taking another inhale, gently drawing the belly button to your spine, gently bringing those legs back to center, uncrossing that left foot, placing it beside the right, maybe taking those the hips back to center as well. Coming into a couple of windshield wipers here, just loosening up those hips, allowing everything to integrate. And from here, we'll gently make our way into an easy sitting pose at the front of our mat. So you can gently roll out to either side. You can gently cradle your head into your hands here. Just take a couple of breaths here because we have been laying on our back for a little bit of time. And we'll gently make our way up into an easy sitting pose. So from here, you can gently place your hands onto your knees, crown of your head up towards the ceiling, knitting the shoulder blades behind your spine, taking some nice deep breaths here, filling the belly full of air. And again, slowly exhaling, allowing the exhales to be slightly longer than the inhale. From here, we'll inhale, we'll reach those arms up overhead. As you exhale, we're going to do a spinal twist. We're going to take the right hand behind us and the left hand is going to come just on the outside of that right thigh. And from here, you're going to take a nice deep breath in, exhale, do a slight twist, keeping that spine nice and long as you twist. And we'll inhale, coming back to center, bringing those arms up overhead. As we exhale, we'll move to the other side, taking the left hand behind us and the right hand onto the left thigh. Keeping the spine nice and long, inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, we'll move through that again, so moving over towards the right side. And inhale, reaching up. Exhale, moving over towards the other side. Gently coming back to center here. You can just make any adjustments that you need. Again, keeping that spine nice and long. We'll inhale, reach those arms up again. We'll exhale, you're going to take the right hand to the mat. You're gently going to walk that out towards the side of your mat. You're going to lean over towards the right side of the room into a nice side bend here. So always making sure you're stacking the shoulders, bringing the bottom shoulder forward, top shoulder back. Your sit bones should be glued to your mat. You can extend those fingertips up towards, the corner of the room where the ceiling and the wall meet. Really breathing into the side body here. And we'll inhale, gently coming back up to center. As you exhale, gently walk that left arm out now. Inhale the right arm up and exhale, gently leaning over to the other side. Again, just taking any adjustments that you need to adjust the shoulders, adjust the fingers and the hands. Really settle into this pose. Inhale back to center. Exhale, we'll walk those hands out again. Inhale the left arm up to the ceiling and exhale, lean over towards the right side. We'll do this one more time on each side. Inhale, gently come up. Exhale, bring that left hand down to the mat. Gently walk it out. Inhale, the right arm up, and exhale, leaning over towards the left side of the room. And inhale back to center. Exhale, both hands beside you. Just noticing how your ribs feel, how the sides of your body feel. And then from here, we'll gently move into our tabletop pose. So coming onto all fours, your hands and knees, making sure that your shoulders are aligned with your wrists and your knees are aligned with your hips. Gently maybe shifting back and forth, hearing the snap, crackles, and pops with our hips and our shoulders. Taking any movements here that you feel you need to take to settle into the tabletop pose today. When it comes to our hands, really pressing into the pads of our fingers, not trying to put all of our weight onto those wrists just because it can be a little bit harder on our wrists and then they get sore. So coming into a long spine here, the crown of the head is in line all the way to the tailbone. You can have your toes extended or curled under, whichever works best for you today. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. We're going to take a nice deep inhale together. Exhale. And on your next breath, on your inhale, we'll exhale and we're going to round our spine. So dropping the crown of your head, rounding out through the shoulders, really maybe pressing more towards our back body, so maybe into our knees, taking any movements here. So this is into that cat posture. On your next breath, we'll exhale, and as we inhale, we're going to gently shift forward into a cow pose. So the belly comes down, you're arching the back slightly, drawing the gaze up towards the ceiling. And on your next exhale, again, dropping the crown of your head down, rounding out that spine. Inhale, coming back into that cow pose. And here, take a few breaths and connect your own breath to your movement. So whatever that looks like for you today, we'll do a cycle of about 5 breaths, and you can add in any extra movements that you need to here. And when you're ready, we'll gently come back to center. So nice long spine here in your tabletop. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the left side. We're going to take that foot off, the foot and knee off of the mat, and you're going to flex that left foot, and you're inhaling, going to come up into that fire hydrant, and then you're going to come back down. Inhale into the fire hydrant, gently come back down. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Coming back down into that tabletop. And on your next breath, we'll gently move to the right side as well. So from here, you can gently inhale. We'll bring that right foot up towards into that fire hydrant. You can keep that foot nice and flexed. Exhale, back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good job. Take a few cat and cows here, just releasing into the hips, maybe rocking from side to side. Whatever's going to work best for you, just to loosen up into those hips, noticing if there's any areas of tension or cramping happening into those glutes. And coming back to center. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to walk our left hand in towards our right hand, and we're going to take that left foot up. So if you need a little bit of assistance here, you can help it up, and we're going to just walk those hands so that we're right beside the left foot as well. And we're going to actually lean our weight into the hands and into that left foot. So you're going to stretch into that right hip, and you can allow that right hip to just sink down towards the mat. So this stretch here is going to get right into that hip flexor on the right side. We tend to sit a lot and hold a lot of tension into our hips, and we don't often stretch enough. So this will definitely help loosen it up. You might even feel some, if you do feel pinching, just ease off a bit. Gently just ease into the pose here. You can gently even add a little bit of rocking side to side if that's in your practice. Taking a couple more nice deep breaths here, releasing that tension into the hip. And when you're ready, you can gently start to bring yourself back into that tabletop pose. So walking those hands back, walking that foot back into the tabletop pose. Taking any extra movements you need to here. Again, maybe rocking those hips side to side just to bring some movement back, or maybe extending those legs out. Maybe you're noticing some popping and cracking sensations, and just know that once you bring some movement back into an area that it might be a little bit tight, you might notice some of that popping and cracking as well. And from here, we'll move to the other side. So we'll walk that right hand in towards the left hand, and you can gently bring that right foot up. Again, you can help that foot up if you wish or if you need to. And again, when you're ready, you'll gently walk forward, shifting your weight into the front foot and into your hands. Again, being mindful of the pads of your fingers versus pushing everything into the wrists. And allowing that left hip to relax. taking any extra movements here that you need to take. And always remember to come back to your breath. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. And when you're ready, we'll gently walk those hands back slightly and slowly, and we'll gently walk that right foot back into our tabletop pose. Again, from here, taking any extra movements that you need to take, taking some circles in towards the hips or extending those legs out back. Whatever your body and you feel that you need, it's completely up to you. Once you settle back into your tabletop, maybe take a couple of cat and cow poses, inhaling and exhaling, just to loosen up that spine. And then from here, we're going to come back onto our sit bones, and we're going to come into a butterfly pose. So a seated butterfly pose. So you'll have the soles of your feet together, and you can have your feet as close as you want to yourself or as far out as you'd like, whatever works best for you. Maybe rocking side to side, just moving that skin away from the sit bones. It'll help you settle in a little bit deeper into the pose. Again, not necessary, but if you did have blocks and you just wanted to put some support underneath the knees, then you could do that as well. So nice long spine here as we inhale and exhale. You can lean forward. You can start to round that spine, drawing your forehead down towards those feet. You can place your elbows on top, just on the insides of the thigh and the calves and the knees, or in front as well. In front of the shins, you might get a little bit more space doing that. Just depends on how your body feels today. It's really focusing on this pose, coming back to your breath. Making any adjustments that you need, moving a bit deeper into the pose or easing off, whatever you need to do today. And from here, you can gently start to bring yourself back up to center. Maybe take your hands on the outsides of those knees, gently drawing those knees back to center. You can bring those hands behind you and just do a couple of windshield wipers just to loosen up those hips. And then from here, we'll gently make our way back down to the mat, onto your back here. And we're gonna come into what we call a happy baby pose. So a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can always just do with one leg if you want. The other leg can be on the mat. You can extend it if you wish, or you can always just keep the foot where it's at, so the knees pointing up towards the ceiling. You can grab onto the calf, the ankle, the inside or outside of the foot, whatever works best for you. The other option is you can always take that second leg up as well, just depending on how your body's feeling. Again, sometimes our hips tend to be very tight. Some days it's great to, move into the happy baby with both feet. Other days it's just better to just do one side at a time. Completely up to you today. If you have some space for movement, maybe adding some movement, massaging your back on your mat while you're in your happy baby pose, maybe taking any additional movements that you'd like to take. Take a few deep breaths here. And on your next breath, we'll gently draw the knees in towards our chest. Maybe giving yourself a bit of a hug here. And when you're ready, you can release those feet back down towards the mat. We'll move into our final pose today, which is called our Shavasana or corpse pose. So you can just relax on your mat. Again, you can keep your palms up if you need the energy today, or you can have those palms facing down to ground more into the mat. You can also take your legs maybe a little bit wider than your mat and allow your feet just to fall open to either side. And just allow all the poses that we completed today to integrate within the body. Not trying to force anything, just allow yourself to be, allow yourself to sink further into your mat today. And maybe just noticing how you feel now compared to how you felt at the beginning of class. And maybe bringing back to mind your intention you set at the beginning of class today. On your next breath, gently invite movement back into your body. Swiggling your toes, your fingers, maybe rocking your head from side to side. Maybe inhaling, you can reach up, reach those fingertips above your head, maybe pointing your toes towards the front of the room for a nice overall body stretch, noticing how this overall body stretch feels compared to the one that we did at the beginning of class. Maybe you feel like you have a little bit more space. On your next exhale, gently draw your knees in towards your chest, giving your body a hug, thanking your body for practicing today. And then from here, we'll gently roll over to the right side. You can cradle your head into your hands. Taking a couple of breaths here, and then gently come up into an easy sitting pose at the front of your mat. Placing your hands on your knees. You can close your eyes and just settle into the pose here. I'm going to leave you with a thought of the day from my book. So the quote today says, "There will always be times when you feel discouraged. I too have felt despair many times in my life, but I do not keep a chair for it. I will not entertain it. It is not allowed to eat from my plate." From Clarissa. And the affirmation is, "I only entertain empowering thoughts and emotions." Taking a deep breath in. As we inhale, we'll reach the arms over our head. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. So thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.